Welcome to Havian Transformational Center. Today we want to look at self-sabotage. The meaning of self-sabotage is a process where a person undermines their own progress. This can be done consciously or unconsciously, meaning they can't be aware that they're sabotaging themselves, or they may be doing something but they're not aware. Now, what causes self-sabotage? This person may have had a difficult childhood or probably grew up in a dysfunctional family. This person may have had relationships that were difficult, relationships that did not work. So this person is often feeling like they don't deserve to succeed. They don't deserve the best things in life. And therefore, when something good comes their way, they'll always find ways to make it not work. This person maybe does not have very good coping mechanism because they were not able to grow or to adapt the mechanism because of the aforementioned factors. Now, how do you identify that you have issues of self-sabotage? When you realize that you have one, low self-esteem, that means you don't value yourself as much. You've seen situations where if somebody is asked, who is going to do this for us, they never point at themselves. They'll always point at the other person because they feel themselves they cannot be able to do that which is demanded. So they have low self-esteem. They may also be having that fear of getting hurt. Remember, this person has tried relationships in the past, be it in family, be it maybe in adulthood, in friendship, but these relationships tended to work negatively on them. So that means they didn't develop that faith in other people and even themselves, because sometimes they feel probably it didn't work because I am the problem. Now, the other thing is you realize that you procrastinate. There's a task at hand, you know exactly what to do, you have a time frame, but you keep postponing. You don't want to start that project. You don't want to start that work. That is a sign that you are self-sabotaging. We've seen people who wait until it is past deadline. It is just a few minutes to deadline. That is when they are beginning to rush. And then everything will come out the wrong way, or everything will become a mess. And yet, probably they had all the time in the world to work slowly and confidently. Now, the other thing that can point that you're probably self-sabotaging is if you are a perfectionist. We understand that in life, nothing is 100% perfect, especially the things that we do ourselves. It will always have a hitch or a small minus here and there. So if you want everything to be 100% perfect, then this is a sign that you're sabotaging yourself. We say, I've seen even advertisements when they're advertising for maybe disinfectants, they tell you they have a 99.9% chance of killing the germs. So they don't give you 100%. So, and you see, 99.9% is very good. And that is why even in our education system, to get a distinction, you don't have to have gotten 100 out of 100. They give you a range. So don't work so much for perfectionism, because it is going to, because until that thing is perfect, you won't do it. And you see, there are other factors that are working with you in that whatever it is you want to do. For example, it's a relationship. You don't expect these other people to be as you want them to be. They are individual, they are entities, so they'll have their own ways of doing things. Now, how do you cope with self-sabotage so that we change the narrative? Number one, if it is extreme and you feel that you cannot be able to do it by yourself, you can seek a therapist. Go to a therapist, let them help you work through what is causing this self-sabotage. Number two, if you can, go to the root cause of what is making you self-sabotage. For example, a person who tried a relationship and then this relationship didn't work. It could be your friends or even a lover. Go back to that point. Look at the truth of what really happened. Are you the bad person in this? If it is, how are you going to change? Are you the good person in whatever it is that happened? And how are you going to improve on that? So that, because when we self-sabotage, then we never progress in any area. We never really progress. Now, the other thing is that you can stop looking at just the big picture alone. There are people who forget that a picture is made up of pieces. It is never a full thing. Just like, for example, a house is made up of building blocks and other materials for it to be a complete house. So, dismantle the picture into small bits that are achievable within a duration. So when you keep looking at the big picture, say you want to be a billionaire, so you don't see the steps that are involved in becoming a billionaire, you just see the end product. It is going to make you self-sabotage yourself, because you can't start a business that is going to be giving you a profit margin of 100,000 per month. It is too little. It will take you time to become a billionaire. So you want a business that is going to give you 1 billion shillings per month. And this is where we have a problem with our current generation. They want microwaved success. They don't want to work at it. And that is why we have a lot of them quitting school, because they believe school is a slow and agonizing process. They don't want to get jobs that will progress them from an employee to a manager to maybe an owner of a business. They want to start from the other end, the owner of a conglomerate or the owner of the biggest business in the world. They don't want to do the bits and small pieces. So it leads to self-sabotage, that whatever small they start, they don't see it through because they want the results instantly. Now, the other thing is that look at generally how you relate to people. How do you find those people you relate with? Are you looking for people who will let you down? Because this is also another problem. There are times we look for people we know. Deep down, we already know these people are going to mess us up. But you are so bent on self-sabotaging that you will go for them. You will go for these people who will leave you in shambles. For example, those people who engage, let's talk about relationships. You engage with people you know very well are stable in their other relationships. So you know by the end of the day that your own side of relationship might not work or will not even work, but you go in anyway. So that is self-sabotage. Or you start a project so huge with no capital at hand and it stalls. And so you'll say, this is me. This is how things happen to me. They never really succeed. Self-sabotage is a psychological disease and it needs to be nipped, actually uprooted. Work on yourself, work on your self-esteem, work on your goals, Work on how you relate with yourself, and you're going to stop self-sabotage. Havian Transformational Center, thank you for subscribing and listening.